Hi, I'm Varsha and this is my channel In the Bucket, and in today's video I'm going to recommend you some vintage classic books. So the first one I have here is a children's classic. This gorgeous cover is by L.M. Montgomery, Anne of the Green Gables, and this is one of the most famous works in children's literature. Not my absolute favorite, but it's a joy reading this. I read it in one of my darkest periods of my life, and yeah, this cheered me up to a great deal. This is about this character whom you can't help but like. She's just this really vibrant personality, this little child who meets her foster family and her adventures in this rural place in Canada. Absolutely love it, and I will always recommend it, even though it's not my absolute favorite. The second one is Peter Pan in this vintage, like my favorite vintage tiny edition. I don't know what it is called. So it is Peter Pan by G.M. Barrie, and this book is a classic again about this classic character of Peter Pan, who is this magical creature who comes from Neverland, and he takes away Windy, this girl, and her siblings to this Neverland where children can't return to the living world, and there they like have to brave or fight this pirate to get through to their own world. And here Peter is a villain or a hero, only the reader can decide. The third book is not really a children's book, but because it is set in the childhood and the adult life of the main character and his intense and deep love for a woman since his childhood, which results in his downfall, and also his adventure with this mysterious benefactor who literally gives him his everything, and he becomes a poor little boy to a well-educated Londoner. And this is like a must read for all the like gothic tragic lovers. And then we have a modernist work. It is The Wave. I love the cover. The Wave by Virginia Woolf. Woolf is known for her modernistic works, her experiment with time and place and memory, which is just such a solid work. This is one of my favorite like Virginia Woolf novels, and I'm trying to read all of her novels. I have read majority of her novels, I guess 6 or 7, and this is one of them. It is viewed through the POV or the perspective of several of its characters, and you have to be really conscious about who is speaking of which time period, otherwise it will be all jumbled up, which it did to me when I first started reading it, and as I went through it all makes sense. Yeah, one of the most experimental works I have ever read. And then we have Middlemarch in this beautiful cover by George Eliot. George Eliot is one of my favorite authors of all time, and this is, although not my favorite work, but it is still the most memorable work by her. It's set in this rural English town, this imaginary town, and how the people belonging to different profession come together and they act or just behave in their natural habitat during elections or a wedding or many other things. It is really interesting. It is not just a tale of set in a picturesque location in England and the story, a love story or something. No, it's completely different, I tell you. Then we have the notorious Tom Jones by Henry Fielding, and this is about this man who is really good by heart, but his whole personality is scattered by people who hate him. And this is how we see him through his most difficult time to his most uplifting one. And this journey of his as a, Rue, or a person who is of a bad character but isn't really, in the end you realize that this person is a really good person, is something just wow, just literally wow. I just love it. And the realization that happens in the end is completely justifiable. Yeah. And the last book is set in the oldest time, in the 15th century. And this is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And this book is about this character who has committed adultery in society, and society has banished her to live in this forest with her infant daughter. And this is one of the most painful books I have ever read, but at the same time one of the most rewarding, because you see how like people used to react in that time, and it's just so realistic. She has to wear this letter A, which stands for adultery, on her clothes at all times, so people can shame and know what she did. But as the story progresses, we see that like certain things, and we realize that it's not really like something bad that she did. It's just something that has been done to her. Really, I won't call it a feminist work, but yeah, it stands for like a time where women were brutally killed, like the Salim witch trials. Yeah, and it stands for like, how they were treated as a memory. Yeah. So these were all the books that I recommended to you, and I hope you like this video. If you do, then do subscribe and like and share as much as you can, and I will definitely meet you in my next video. Till then, bye and have a good day.